Hello. A pleasant evening to everybody. This amidst a rainy day or probably a rainy week. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Toastmasters Club, Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. And thank you because of your attendance, our committed Toastmasters, our esteemed guests, and our supporters from other clubs. Yes, thank you for coming, and by the powers vested in me by the Toastmasters International, I am calling this meeting to order. Good evening. Tonight's theme will be the general social etiquette. And tonight, we will tackle a topic that has always been close to everybody's heart. Topic that is considered social, but does everybody really know everything about it? What is the social etiquette? It is usually a gauge of our manners, our breeding. And to tell you about this topic tonight, I would like to introduce to you, after this prayer, the Toastmaster of the day. But first of all, let us come to the Lord and ask Him to bless this meeting. Lord, we thank you for this meeting. We thank you because of the willingness of these people to come to this meeting. Thank you because even it's rainy, even if the skies are cloudy and the rain is threatening, it did not dampen our spirit. The spirit of a Toastmasters is still remains there. Thank you, Father, and we pray that with our program tonight, it will lead towards an meaningful exchange of ideas, and the net result will be everybody will be learning a lot, and
Answer?
everybody will have fun.
I can
And
hear you. Can you hear us? No. See? But
yes, there will be a very lively interaction. Yes, God, we pray you will bless this, and kahit ganito, Lord, we do it to your glory and honor. Yes, God, we pray this in Christ's name. Amen. Yes, let
Amen.
us have the Toastmasters promise. Let us raise our right hand. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition program, to act within Toastmasters' core value of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Thank you, Yume. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's topic will certainly be liked by everybody. It is about social etiquette. We hear it, we hear the word finesse, we hear the word breeding, we hear the word character, and we hear the word manners most of the time. In fact, do we assess ourselves? And tonight, to represent, embody a person who has who can best represent or who is an embodiment of social etiquette. And to guide us through the program, may we introduce to you our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Armel Gutierrez.
Thank you so much, President Mar. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I am happy and excited because we are here tonight. In spite of the weather disturbance affecting our country, thank God we are safe in the comfort of our home. Also, we are praying for our countrymen who are totally affected in the storm. Our meeting tonight talks about you. Yes, you. And how you interact with other people using your social etiquette. Some may say that this is just so basic. We don't need to talk about this matter anymore. But your innate manner, your attitude, or etiquette can totally define who you are in the magnifying lens of other people. That is why our theme, the general social etiquette, refers to the unwritten rules and guidelines that govern human behavior in social interactions, helping individuals to be respectful, considerate, and polite towards others. Social etiquette varies from country to country, and what might be considered polite in one culture could be seen as rude in another. Let us dive into some examples. These are the social etiquette in different countries. In Japan, bowing is a traditional greeting, and the depth and duration of the bow convey respect. Gift giving is also a significant custom with nice wrapping. In India, the Namaste greeting with palms pressed together is a common. Removing shoes before entering homes or temples is a sign of respect. Eating with the right hand is preferred as the left hand is considered unclean. Sorry for the left-handed in India. Brazil. Physical touch and warmth are key in Brazilian culture. Expects lots of hugging and kissing on the cheeks as greetings. Public displays of affection are also common. So, would you like to live in Brazil? How about China? Table manners are crucial, with proper use of chopsticks and not finishing a meal completely. It implies the host did not provide enough food. Gift giving also involves items like tea or fruit, and red wrapping is auspicious. In the Philippines, Filipinos are well known for their warm hospitality. Guests are often treated with delicious foods and drinks, and hosts take pride in making visitors feel at home. Those were the samples of culture in different countries. And in Toastmasters meeting, we also apply social etiquette in our interactions like active listening. We pay attention to others and show interest in their conversations or speeches. Being punctual, we arrive on time for our meeting and use the allowable time given to us during our speech. We also use polite body language. We make eye contact, we smile, and use open and approachable body language whenever we are talking. These are some of the common practices we observe during our meeting. Tonight's meeting is divided into three parts. We have the table topics, prepared speeches, and evaluation. Let us start with the table topics. But first, let us discover the word of the night to be shared by our grammarian. He is a champion humorous speaker, an engineer, and the immediate past president of Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. Let us welcome Toastmaster Jeff.
Thank you, Marmel. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. And I'm honored to serve as your grammarian tonight. And I look forward that we all stay dry on this rainy season. Now, as a grammarian, I have three main responsibilities. First is to introduce the word of the night. Second, to observe and highlight all the great language use. And lastly, is to note all our grammatical lapses on our tonight's meeting. So to begin, our word of the night is demeanor. Everybody say demeanor. Yeah, which means a person's behavior towards others. Again, it is a noun meaning a person's behavior towards others. For example, Sam himself, a quiet young man with a rather shy demeanor, was somewhat bemused by all his attention. So let's try to use the word demeanor during our speeches tonight. So anyone who wants to use the word of the night, who wants to volunteer to put it in a sentence before we proceed to our meeting tonight.
I would
When we have,
like to I would like to volunteer.
thank you, Toastmaster Elise. Please
Yeah.
do have the honor to
Demeanor.
give the example.
Thank you. Thank you, Past President Jeff. Demeanor. Demeanor is culturally relative, like something that is right in my perspective may be wrong in some other culture. Thank you. Demeanor.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elise. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone. Thank you, Tim Elise. And again, everyone, let's try to use the word demeanor. And I challenge you to use the word of the night to all your speeches that you will deliver tonight. Doing so helps enrich our vocabulary and makes us more confident communicators. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Armel.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jeff and Toastmaster Elise. Everyone, please use the word demeanor for tonight. We have a challenge to make. And for the proper use of time in the table topics, let us welcome one of my good friends, an environmental advocate, the past Division G Director. Let us welcome Toastmaster Rose Pagia.
For the table topics, we are allotted 1 to 2 minutes for each topic, and I will show the green light later. You will see my screen turn green, and that will mean that you have reached the minimum time allowed. And then when you have reached 1 minute 30 seconds, I will show a green light, and that will mean you will be close to the end of your time limitation. And when I show the red light, that will mean the time is 2 minutes, and you will have to wrap up your speech because you will only have 30 seconds for you to finish your speech. And this will mean that after 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you will be marked as overtime. That applies to our table topics. And with that, I return the control to our beautiful Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Ermel.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rose. Now that we know how to use we know the use of time properly, let us begin with our table topics. Our table topics master is a health advocate, a dance enthusiast, and a loving Lola to Rosie Elise. Friends, let us welcome Toastmaster Elise Delatas to lead us in the table topics session.
Fellow Toastmasters, good evening. It's a rainy evening. I'm praying everybody is fine. I remember during in my son's early years, I gave him a book. The title was A Black Book for General Etiquette. And so it was basically an etiquette book, and it says a lot about demeanor. But I was struck by one of the chapters that said, mindful of your M. It says, be mindful of your mind. Be mindful of your money. Be mindful of your mood. And most of all, be mindful of your manners. Fellow Toastmasters, we are talking here about manners. And so are you going to be the reactions are confronted by a different kind of demeanor you perceive to be, you know, connecting with yours. So I'm going to give you questions that's going to make you react quickly and effectively during unexpected situations. Okay, hello, Toastmasters. I'm validating this as like, how would you understand a person? Okay, and so it's a very simple self-explanatory queries that I need you to expound with our available formats. And so do we have to post this here as MG for our message them format? The prep I remember for position you're an example, then go back to your position again. If format is your past, you have to count on past and situation and approach your future perspective. I is an attention, interest, and desire. I know action form. Ready for Toastmasters? Okay, so I'm going to look on who are the participants that we have here. And so, first question would be yeah. How do you react? How would you understand a person who says to not stand you? How
Tita
would you
Elise, excuse
understand?
me. Hello, Tita
Sorry,
Elise, excuse me. Ryan here.
activity, the sit activity as how would you understand or how would you react to a person and then what are you going to say? A very simple self-explanatory inquiries that you can actually you can expound on what we're going to be dinner. Okay, fellow master. First question: how do you understand a person? How would you understand a person's situation when he says, "I cannot stand you. I cannot stand you." Again, what is your demeanor? How would you understand a person when he says to you, I cannot stand you? And what is your response? I would like to call on a very eloquent person, very behaved, but witty. Is Chris available? Chris, are you there? No?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Would you like me to repeat? Would you like me to
Yes,
say
please.
the question again? Okay, great. Chris, say a person would come to you and say, I cannot stand you. What is your demeanor? How is your demeanor? How are you going to understand this person? And what would be your response? Thank you, Chris, for taking the time.
Leng, every time I see you, I get annoyed. It feels like it's the same statement what TM Elise mentioned earlier. You know what? That statement, it was my close friend who said that to me when I was part of the youth ministry before. We were so close, like a sister. And then one day, he told me that I get annoyed whenever I see you, or I can no longer stand you. You know what? At the time, I don't know how to respond. And I'm sure you guys will react the same. You're gonna ask yourself, like, what's wrong with me? What did I do? And unfortunately, I didn't get any answer from her as well. I asked her multiple times, but I didn't get any response. But you know what? As I continue to serve, even feeling hurt with what she told me, I remember a verse from the Bible where it says, pray for those who persecute you, love your enemies. In our life, we can't please everybody, and we can't always win their hearts, and we can't always do things that will please them. You don't have to do things just to please them. And I think what I did is I stopped pushing myself, chasing her, but instead we had a one-on-one and heart-to-heart discussion. I poured my heart out. I speak myself honestly to her. But eventually our friendship ended just like that. I prayed for it, and up until now, I still don't get the answer. But God assured me that some relationship has to end for you to grow and to realize as well the good people that you need to be with in order for you to grow as well in your personal life. Thank you, TM Elise.
Oh, I am sensing that there's going to be a lot of good stories here, and I I I admire Chris for being strong and she just stood for herself. Well, probably Chris, I would say I cannot stand you, and I would just reply, take a seat then. Okay. Thank you for that, Chris. Second question, second table topic would be this. What is your demeanor and how would the person? Yeah, Lid, what is your demeanor and how are you going to respond when a person says, what are you looking at? And what would be your response? Thank you, Lid, for taking the challenge.
If somebody would approach me telling me something like, what are you looking at? And if she tells me that line in such a manner that really is not in a good tone, I think I would answer that person, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, what am I looking at? Well, definitely I'm not looking at you, girl. Well, sometimes, people would just say something, and nowadays we have a word for that, mema, right? People have insecurities or problems. They tend to say things that don't really matter, things that they don't even mean. Well, earlier we heard a person telling somebody, I can't stand you. And this is just one of those lines also of people who are out there in the world trying to spread negativity. What are you looking at? Well, well, definitely I'm not looking at you. And if I may say that you have to just mind your business and I will mind mine because I noticed that you're not being friendly, so we might as well not speak to each other, not at this time. And I just want to let you know that if you think I'm looking at you, well, I was not, but now I am. And since I'm looking at you right now, I just need to tell you something. Girl, I think you need to be friendly and I hope you wouldn't talk to any person the way you just did because that is not so inviting. And if you don't want people to dislike you, well, you might as well have the right attitude. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you for that, Lid. Very
Yeah,
well
okay.
said.
Thank you.
As usual, fellow Toastmasters, this is my last topic. Okay. And it goes something like this. What is your demeanor? And how would you understand a person when he says to you, you are ugly? And how would you respond? What is your demeanor and how would you understand the person's situation or the person as he is when he says to you, you are so ugly? And how would you respond? I would like to call our gentle giant, the mild manner, past president, Jeff. Jeff, take it away.
I often hear this kind of some insulting words when you're a kid, you're in school, when you are teasing with your other playmates. You know, you're so ugly. You're like a you're like what? You're like this? Sometimes when we are full of negativity in the world and someone approached you and said something not appropriate or something's off when you hear it. When you're at that moment and you didn't inhale and think first, you'll just explode and say something bad against her or him. What I could recommend on myself is we'll just inhale and treat it as a funny joke from her. So I will not take it seriously. So sometimes it will turn negativity into a funny one. It's like she's teasing you, but you cannot say that. Are you looking in the mirror? Maybe that's not the correct response once you have received that kind of inappropriate word. I would say that maybe it's you can say, I don't think so. You can say the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe you just have to close your eyes and imagine yourself. So everyone, once you receive some negativity, try to don't take it seriously and translate it or treat it as something like a funny one. Thank you, and back to you, TMS.
I love it. That was a good perspective when you said a beauty eyes of the beholder. Thank you, Jeff, for that. Fellow Toastmasters, you see, it was right to say that all of the deliveries would depend on the tone of the sage of words. I cannot see myself. Okay, so
So while waiting for our Toastmaster, for our table topics master tonight, I would like to congratulate all of our speakers. Thank you so much for your courage and bravery in answering those challenging questions. I'm waiting for somehow medyo mataray na sagot. But then, thank you so much for being so poised and for having good attitude in answering those questions. Now, before we go to the second part of our program, the prepared speakers, I would like to thank first Toastmaster Elise for giving us those questions that challenge our speakers. I would like to share some thoughts again to you tonight. You may, if you agree that this is a good etiquette, you might share your heart emoji or thumbs up. But if you do not agree that this is a good etiquette, you may just put on other emoji. Okay, let's Hit it. This one, is this good or bad etiquette? Keeping your phone on silent, not talking with your mouth full, and saying please and thank you during table dinner gathering. Is this good or bad etiquette? Okay, I hope you are with me because I cannot see any of your reactions. Second one, arriving on time or even a few minutes early for appointments and social engagements. Is this good or bad etiquette?
Good.
Okay. How about this one? Overpowering others with strong scents, especially in enclosed spaces. Is this good or bad etiquette?
Mm.
We may have different count on this.
Yes, different,
Yeah,
different.
it
Um,
depends on you whether you see it as good or bad. But in my case, I didn't see any bad thing on this. How about this one? Using insults or aggressive tone when communicating with others.
that is culturally related, relative. It's
Yes.
cultural, yeah, cultural relative.
This one,
Well, what could
maintaining eye contact, nodding to show you are engaged, and asking follow-up questions to show interest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. So, fellow Toastmasters, that's I do believe that you are an expert of those good etiquettes. We have actually a lone speaker this evening. We prepared actually 4 speakers for you tonight, but then we have our lone speaker. And I would like to introduce him to you. His path is about engaging you more. His level is on 5.3, reflect on your path. The title is Engaging Horror. The time is from 10 to 12 minutes. His evaluator is Distinguished Toastmaster Dana Palinga. Our speaker is none other than Distinguished Toastmaster Mark Edrada with his speech, Engaging Horror. Engaging Horror, Mark Edrada.
Fellow Toastmasters, how does it feel for you to deliver humorous speeches? May I ask some of our champion humor speakers here, Toastmaster Arbel, how does it feel for you to deliver humorous speeches, especially the time that you joined the contest?
It feels frightening and nervous at the same time, but then as I hear my audience laugh, as I have a connection with them, it feels so good that somehow I am entertaining them by sharing my humor story with them. That's how I'm feeling whenever I'm giving a humorous speech.
Thank you for that, Toastmaster Armel. In fact, I could relate that I was also frightened when I was delivering humorous speeches under the engaging humor path. How about our division champion, Jeff? How does it feel for you to deliver a humorous speech?
Distinguished Toastmaster Mark, delivering a humorous speech is, for me, is a nerve-wracking, uh, awkward, and I may say, kind of fulfilling, fulfilling. Because whenever your joke connects with your audience, it feels like you're genius. You know that feeling because you have connected your punchline. Thinking of unique punchlines whenever you deliver your humorous speeches is very hard because sometimes you need to make people relate to you because whenever the audience is quiet and you deliver that punchline, well, you said, "Oh my God, you're so vulnerable when you're delivering humorous speeches." That's why whenever I saw people or the audience slapping, it's fulfilling and empowering for me. And I think that's delivering humorous speeches for me. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mark.
Thank you for that, Toastmaster Jeff. It's nerve-wracking actually, because you would not know the reaction of the people, your audience, whether they would laugh or they would just frown or be serious about your speech. How about you, distinguished Toastmaster Christine, for a serious person like you or serious-looking person like you, how does it feel for you to deliver a humorous speech?
Well, that is something that has been my ambition or in my bucket list for the longest time that I have been a Toastmaster. So last contest for the club when I represented Sulu for my international speech, I tried to inject or make it a little bit humorous. And I think I was quite successful. But then, of course, it's not the typecast for a humorous speech because I know that I couldn't deliver a really humorous speech, maybe like Jeff, like Rose, since I am definitely very shy to really let go and deliver a humorous speech. Because I think if you are into, if you're a natural humorist, then I think you have to be more, what's that? You have to be more free and, like, I don't know, what Jeff was saying earlier, that it's really a challenge to deliver a humorous speech. But for me, it's actually terrifying. But I still try.
Yeah. There's a horror in that one. Engaging humor is actually engaging horror for the speaker because it's terrifying. In fact, I saw the contest piece of Distinguished Toastmaster Christine, and she was able to pull it off. There was a humor in the speech of Tita Christine that time. And in fact, last Saturday, when she did the installation of the District Leo, there was humor in that speech that you have. I don't know if you know that, but there was
Yeah, I
humor.
try.
Thank you for that, distinguished Toastmaster Christine, Toastmasters Armel, and Jeff, for your answers. Engaging humor was the most challenging path I took in Toastmasters. I am not a humorous speaker, and though it was my challenging path, I would still encourage you to take this path in Toastmasters. One of my first speeches in this path was about the origin of artificial intelligence. I gave just 5% humor and 95% horror. I remember Toastmaster Rose coined it engaging horror. Then I delivered my speech entitled Good for Babies, where I realized that breastfeeding was not only good for babies. It was breastfeeding was also good for daddy's budget. During our team, Alta Sociedad, I delivered a speech entitled The Fridge, where I told my story when I purchased an enormous refrigerator that almost could not fit our main entrance door. That was a big purchase with a big lesson on planning. Aside from these regular speeches, I also delivered special speech projects. One of which was the use of humor in impromptu speaking. My gosh, it was tough. If Jeff and Armel were terrified in delivering these prepared speeches, impromptu speeches are more terrifying, especially when you are trying to inject humor in it. It was a pure challenge to incorporate humor in an impromptu setup. But the lesson I got from there was to internalize your stories and consider the timing and the punchline. Doing so also involves different factors: your facial expressions, your tone of voice, and your raw talent in being exaggerated. Aside from these speeches, I was able to give birth to two projects within Engaging Humor Path. One was the weekend mentoring session that we do every first and third Saturday of the month. And the other one was the Diamond Gavel Awards Night, which will be an annual thing moving forward. Engaging Humor Path is memorable to me. I am not a humorous speaker, yet I was able to complete it and deliver projects necessary for my role as Vice President for Education. You don't need to be humorous at all times upon delivering speech projects under this path. You can deliver drama, horror, thriller, action, and any other genre that you like. A certain percentage of humor will do, as long as you add value to your audience. Fellow Toastmasters, how can you be a humorous speaker even if you are not a humorous speaker? This was what I learned during this path, upon undertaking this path. Number one, start engaging your humor with your friends. In fact, last Saturday, in the District 75 installation and awarding ceremony in Pampanga, I encountered a fellow Toastmaster who was a member of Barbero Toastmasters Club, a club that encourages humor or kwentong barbero. Of course, the humor set in Toastmasters should adhere with our core values, especially respect. So, be diligent and be mindful of the humor that we are using in our speeches. How can you be a humorous speaker even if you are not a humorous speaker? Tip number two, start small. A one-liner punch or a one-liner punchline can make your speech memorable. After a one-liner punchline, deliver a humorous story. I knew of a humorous speech piece that tackled a speaker's heartbreak. In case you have a heartbreak, or in case you have a heartbreaking experience, try to laugh at it, and then your audience, and then let your audience laugh at it as well by converting your heartbreak to humor. For example, the table topic speech delivered by Chris earlier about the demeanor expressed by her friend, that kind of heartbreak, being the both of them friendship over, can be turned into a humorous speech. And I challenge you to, Pastor Chris, to do that. Try to do that. That heartbreaking, try to do a speech about that heartbreaking story and put humor into it. And then, how can you be a humorous speaker even if you are not a humorous speaker? Tip number three, my final tip, start unleashing yourself. You limit your actions and your manner of speaking because you are too shy to show the world how silly you are. But that's how you engage your humor. Humor is not about being prim and proper. However, there must there must be a decorum or demeanor in humor. To be a humorous speaker, maximize your speaking space, especially when you are doing face-to-face sessions. Use different facial expressions and emotions, and leverage your tone of voice. Then, couple them with correct timing. So in summary, how can you be a humorous speaker even if you are not a humorous speaker? Number one, start engaging your humor with your friends. Number two, start small by having one-liner punchline until you have this humorous story that could be turned into a speech. And then number 3, start unleashing yourself. Fellow Toastmasters, even though being humorous in a public setup is truly engaging horror for you because you do not know whether the people will laugh or not, I challenge you to still consider engaging humor. Who knows? The birth of your humor is yet to come. Back to you, Toastmaster Armel.
Thank you so much to your engaging horror story. I'm learning so much from you, distinguished Toastmaster Mark. 3 things: I should start small steps whenever I have to deliver my humorous speech, and then I have to inject jokes with my friends, and also I have to enjoy. I have to have that right punchlines and start challenging myself to be free or unleash myself. Thank you so much for that beautiful story in regarding your engaging humor pathway. Everyone, I challenge you, maybe next time you may want to choose engaging humor as your path. That would be very challenging. We are on the third part of our program, the evaluation portion. This is one of the most exciting parts of the program. We often hear that experience is the best teacher. In reality, evaluated experience is the best teacher. In the evaluation portion, we experience also social etiquette in the form of verbal communication. Evaluators use respectful language, tone, and volume. Also, we have nonverbal communication. This means being mindful of body language, facial expressions, and personal space. We also show respect in evaluating. It means giving consideration for others' feelings, opinions, and boundaries. And also the digital etiquette. This means being mindful of online behavior, tone, and content. So, social etiquette helps to build positive relationships. It also fosters a sense of community and promotes a respectful and considerate environment. Fellow Toastmasters, heading the evaluation portion is our general evaluator, of course. Our general evaluator is one of my good friends in Toastmasters. I remember whenever I call his help to help me mentor clubs like DYCI and Tarlac, this person is always free and always willing to give a helping hand. He's the past area director in Division N Area 4 in 2022 and to 2023. He is also the immediate past area director in Division Air Area 4 in 2024 to 2025. Outside Toastmasters, he is an advocate of World Vision. A fan of SB19. Wow. A recreational runner, finished 2 full marathons, the Milo Marathon in 2012 and the Run Rio Marathon in 2016. He's also a subject matter expert at a multinational company. Friends, let us all welcome our general evaluator this evening, Toastmaster Jello.
Thank you for the generous introduction, Toastmaster Armel, my good friend. And good evening, Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. It's nice to be back online with you. And I am your general evaluator for this evening. Of course, the task of general evaluator is to oversee and check our quality of the meeting from the start and also towards the end, and also check the demeanor of our members if they're actually doing each part and each of their tasks wisely and carefully and also accordingly. And to start our evaluation portion, of course, the evaluation portion, as they say, is the meatiest. Why is it meatiest amongst the segments of our meeting? It is where we grow. It's where we experience the growth rather in Toastmasters. And our meeting is not an exception. Each speech that we are actually delivering in our clubs is our opportunity to grow. And people help us to grow by, you guessed it right, evaluation. Evaluated practice makes perfect. I would say evaluated practice makes permanence. And to help us grow, I'm not alone in this task to evaluate our speeches. We will be evaluating our table topics respondents and table topics as a whole, and also we will evaluate the lone speaker and also the language usage, the filler words used, and also the timing. To start, we will be evaluating our table topics segment, and please help me welcome to the virtual stage our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Monique. The virtual stage is yours. Let's give her a round of applause.
Okay, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Dr. Jill, played by Jody Santamaria in the TV show The Broken Marriage Vow, said that papunta na tayo sa exciting part. Well, we are in the exciting part, which is the evaluation of the table topics. Now, the table topics for me is a very fun part of the meeting. Why? Because it gives you the chance to speak. And if I were not an evaluator, I would actually want to be a table topic speaker for tonight. But nevertheless, this is also, as a Toastmaster, I'm also grateful for the opportunity to give an evaluation of the table topics for tonight. I noticed that the speakers for tonight are Toastmasters themselves, so they are very prepared in their speech, even though it was impromptu. I would like to tackle each and every one, and of course, our table topics master for tonight. So for TM Chris, I like that you're able to use the SMG pattern. Your story was heavy and personal, but that's what I like about impromptu speeches because it really comes from the heart and it comes from the line of authenticity. I am thankful that you're able to share that, and I learned a lot from what you've said. But for me, my comment is that maybe you could have ended your speech with a little bit of a call to action. What can you suggest to your audience after what happened to you? So a little bit of a call to action might be helpful as the way to end your speech. Now for TM Renelita, I like that you were able to answer direct to the point. The question was a little bit hard, being if I were presented that question or in that scenario, I would also have a difficulty in answering your question. But nevertheless, I like how you were able to answer it directly. At the same time, it was a challenge that your your video was not working. So you were only able to answer your question through voice. And because of that, you were able to utilize your voice because I saw some pacing. I also noticed the diction in answering your question. You have the right attitude. But I would suggest that I had a difficulty in looking or observing what is the speech pattern that was used during your speech. Maybe it would have been a challenge, or it would have been better if you could answer the pattern. If you could have answered the topic through the patterns as suggested during the first part of the table topic session. For TM Jeff, I also like that you were able to give a lot of scenarios to the questions that was raised to you. It wasn't a single answer given. You didn't give a single answer. You gave different options, which I think give the audience the opportunity to think and also assess what are the possible answers to your scenario. I also like that you had the call to action. I like that when you said you don't have to take it personally. You have to check the demeanor of both you and the person that said that to you. I really like the way that you answered your the question raised to you. Now, as to the table topics master, I like the questions that were raised. They evoke a sort of a reflective moment for us as individuals and our view of how social etiquette is. I like that the questions were able to help us reflect on what we are as a person and how we act towards others. I also like the theme or the part that you said, be mindful of the 3 M's, be mindful of your money, be mindful of your mind, and be mindful of your manners. It gives the audience something to think about during the whole meeting. A little bit problematic with the technicals such as the internet. I also would like to suggest that maybe it would have been better if you could also put in the chat box the questions that were raised, so that when the it would also so that the speakers would know what to say, and also it would also guide the members who are here right now. I would also suggest, although the questions were good because they were able to evoke a thoughtful and reflective moment, I would think it would be better to rephrase a little bit the question so that the speakers would be able to do the themes or the style to answer a question, Toastmaster style. But nevertheless, I like the table topics tonight. I love being able to be here and to be able to reflect. And thank you very much for the opportunity to give this speech. And thank you very much for everyone for being graceful enough for making me a member, making me a part of your meeting for tonight. So back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Monique, for that comprehensive evaluation of our respondents of the table topics and also the table topics master. I agree to all the points that you have raised, specifically the authenticity, the positive and friendly demeanor of how you evaluated each of the table topics respondent as well as our table topic master. And I also I'm digging the part wherein you mentioned as part of the something to grow on for the table topic master, the rephrasing of the question. Yes, I totally dig that. And now for something to grow on, Toastmaster Monique, perhaps use less on uncertain words, such as maybe, in terms of giving your something to grow on part. Yes. Why is this important? Because you are giving your opinion, and nobody can take that away from you, and so you have to be certain of the thoughts between your ears, and thus maybe might be weak, and if the statement is weak, the receptiveness of the people or of the person hearing your something to grow on part would also be weak. I hope it makes sense. But yes, that would be just that. But I agree all of your points, specifically the positive and friendly demeanor on how you raise the good points, highlights, and good parts of the speech. And also the rephrasing of the question. Totally dig it. Let's give a hand to Toastmaster Monique. And to add to that, Toastmaster Monique, to our table topic master to facilitate in the future, Toastmaster Angeles, if you would also consider my suggestion here. So I am actually missing 3 parts. How, and this includes the pattern. I thought I missed the pattern that a Toastmaster may use in tackling the table topics. And also I also missed the timing wherein you are safe when you reach the green part and then you can expound on it when you see the yellow part, and then end or prepare to end or prepare to wrap up when you see the red light or when you see the red signal. And that could be under how of your table topics segment. And then what is table topics? And then here, the what part, you may want to introduce it the Toastmaster way, like the long-standing tradition wherein we develop our thinking of our feet on our feet, sort of you put your spin onto that and develop your spell in terms of what is table topics in relation to a Toastmasters meeting and also outside Toastmasters meeting. And the why part. This is the most important part of how, what, why in terms of doing speeches, and that includes table topics. Why? Why? And here you can say, why is this important to you personally? Is there any part of your life that you have used table topics? You may want to also say, it is important because it helped me propel to propel my growth in terms of my career. I got promoted because I learned how to speak on off the cuff, wherein my boss asked me questions and I readily answer them in no time. So the why should be also equally as important of the words you mention inside your speech. So remember to have the how, what, and why for your next table topic next. But I like how you incorporate the theme, Toastmaster Angeles, to your questions. So it's very apropos. Thank you so much. And let's give a hand to Toastmaster Angeles and also Toastmaster Monique for evaluating our tabletop, for gracing us and also evaluating the table topics segment. Let's give them. So we're done evaluating our very poised and calm table topics participants and also our table topics facilitator and evaluator. Now we will be moving on to our prepared speech. And to evaluate Toastmaster Marx's speech, we will be having two evaluators. And I'll be asking distinguished Toastmaster Christine Demblique and distinguished Toastmaster Dan to evaluate the speech. And maybe we could divide the speech evaluation in terms of using the acronym COD, content, organization, and delivery. And for the content and delivery, may ask distinguished Toastmaster Christine Demblique to evaluate those part, the content and then organization of Toastmaster Marx's speech. And for the delivery, for distinguished Toastmaster. And may I call on to evaluate the content and organization of Toastmaster Marx's speech. May I call on to the virtual stage Toastmaster distinguished Toastmaster Christine Dimbley. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Cello. Well, the path of distinguished Toastmaster Mark is not an easy feat because I think I'm trying to really evade that particular path, but then it is something that, one should be, one can grow much when you assume and take over that path. So for your particular project now, Mark, I like that you engage the audience, like you ask those who have delivered and gain from their experience, share their experiences with the audience and include that in your speech. then you were able to harness all the informations that you got from your interviews with your particular speech. You also gave us pointers in order how to be able to create a humorous speech. What I would like you to do in order to improve this particular project, and maybe in the next project, if there are still other remaining projects in this path, is to be able to give us some enumeration of how to really develop your speech in a humorous manner. Because I think if we have been constantly, I have been constantly barraged by the invitation of the Lance Miller, I think, on how to create more humor, how to inject humor in your speech. But I haven't been able to actually adapt those particular. I think I'm just probably not so serious enough, but I think you can do it yourself. But maybe provide us for some clarity, provide some enumeration of how to inject humor in your speech. And aside from the experiences that you have actually accumulated from the interviews, this will definitely help, and you can merge those two, the actual and then some pointers according to maybe procedures, protocols, books, some learnings from the books. Then your speech can be complete and more comprehensive in terms of being holistic. So congratulations, Mark, and I think you will develop that particular skill as you go along this pathway. So congratulations, Mark, and may I now return the control to our general evaluator.
I will actually tell my insights about the evaluation of Distinguished Toastmaster Christine. Right
Sure.
after Distinguished Toastmaster Dan's evaluation under delivery. Distinguished Toastmaster Dan, the virtual stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening to everyone. Congratulations, Toastmaster Mark. I think you have refined your delivery, and at the same time, you delivered it in a very clear way that all of us participated, and not only that, we understood your points, and at the same time, you gave us valuable tips of how to deliver a humorous speech. This is something that all of us, I guess, and I would say I myself learned tonight, that engaging your audience in a humorous speech is the most important thing. And of course, just like anything that we do, we start small, and step by step we develop the skill. We develop the skill by doing it among friends, among members of the family, or among peers.
Well,
I think we lost him.
was he lost?
Disconnected?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on. Distinguished Toastmaster Christine, thank you so much for that comprehensive evaluation of the content and an organization. I like that you highlighted the enumeration part, and also in the inspiration of Lance Miller, my inspiration too for having humor in my speeches, or trying, at least on my mind, trying to squeeze in and sprinkle humor here and there on my speech. Oh, sorry. We got
Okay, I'm back.
Toastmaster Dan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, thank you. Mark, you have refined yourself. The way you deliver it was very engaging. And not only that, you lead us to follow the trend of thought that you have when delivering your speech. It was a good storytelling with major elements, important elements that made your speech interesting and engaging. I would just like to say one thing. Mark, you have to have very good or use very good vocal variety. The punchlines, the major ideas should be with a higher or lower volume. So use vocal variety in your speech. Congratulations again. And now,
All right, thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Dan. And going back to Distinguished Toastmaster Christine's evaluation of Toastmaster Mark's speech, my inspiration, Distinguished Toastmaster Christine, for putting humor on my speeches would be, for you, it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Lance Miller, right? And then for me, that would be Darren LaCroix, also a world champion of public speaker. Um, and I think they are also friends. They are working together in a program. Yeah. And yes, they are actually advocating putting in humor in a speech. And I actually like your demeanor in terms of evaluating. Perhaps it can I can liken it with speaking to a friend. So, you know, if you're speaking to a friend, you would like that friend to improve and know your thoughts without no horse barred, but also uh, thinking that how can my friend accept my something to grow on, right? So it's a good mix of something to grow on and yet not hurtful, not offensive, not too crushing or hammering on that matter. So it's a good mix of both worlds. Like if on the part like in the part of enumeration, yep. I don't think that it is debilitating if I hear that on my end, like I cannot continue anymore on my next project, but I would take it as a challenge because you presented it in such a way that there's no distinction between the good part and the something could go on part. It seems like it's threaded smoothly. So yeah, I like that strategy. Yeah, no distinctions between, oh, she's now on the something to go on part. Oh, she's still on the good part. And traversing from the good part to the something to grow on takes a lot of years to really connect and seamlessly deliver from the good part and then something to grow on part. So yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Christine, for exemplifying how to do a evaluation with seamless parts from the good parts and also transitioning to the something to grow on parts of the speech.
Thank you.
Let's see it. Let's actually give a round of applause to Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Christine Damlica for a wonderful evaluation under content and then organization of Toastmaster Mark's speech. And now we move on to Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Dan. So he was assigned the delivery part and he highlighted the vocal variety. I totally agree. So for at this level 5 speeches, the speaker must have the mastery of the basics, such as the gesture, body language, and also that includes the vocal variety. And for a humorous speech to work, vocal variety must be its finest, meaning the speaker must master this vocal variety skill. And I remember training back in theater how to use vocal variety, but I'm just relating it in a speech way. So delivery in terms of vocal variety, yeah, that is very important in terms of delivering humorous speech. On your speech, Toastmaster Mark, vocal variety, I totally agree with that suggestion to work on the vocal variety. Even I can also suggest to stand so that you could summon your energy in terms of delivering each line of your humorous punchlines. The second point of your speech to start small and then deliver one liner. Overall, Toastmaster Mark, you have been entertaining, and I totally get your humor because that is also my type of humor in terms of delivering a speech. I am not good at delivering humorous speech, but my friend says so. But yeah, they are entitled to their opinions too. Let's give a hand to Toastmaster Mark and also Distinguished Toastmaster Christine and Distinguished Toastmaster Dan for a job well done on our prepared speech. We're done evaluating our our prepared speeches, or prepared speech rather. And now we're going on to our tag team. So timer, counter, and grammarian. But for this particular segment, I would like to hear first from our grammarian. Then the grammarian would call on our, you call it fame, right? Fillers, and motion evaluator. Yeah, fame. And then the fame would then call on the timer for to complete the tag team. Now, right after the timer have spoken, then that's where I evaluate our tag team as a whole. So may I call on Toastmaster Jeff to check on our language usage. Toastmaster Jeff, the virtual stage is yours.
As your grammarian tonight, I have been observing the language, phrasing, and expressions that have been used throughout our meeting. Now, I will commend those speakers where their speech has stood out, noting, and I will also note opportunities for improvement of our speakers where they have lapses on their grammatical errors. First, some commendable gems from our speakers is from TM Chris. You have to learn and grow from your personal life. It's a strong reminder that self-awareness is the foundation of growth. From TM Lee, mind your business and I will mind mine. So it is a direct, clear, and unapologetically confident in the part of TM Lee. And then from TM Mark, humor is not about prim and proper. There should still be a decorum in humor. It is a witty but a valuable reminder to all our Toastmasters here and all who are listening that in humor there should be a balance between punchlines and maintaining respect even when we aim for laps of others. So again, let's have let's maintain respect still in all our speeches, even though we aim for the laps of others. So next one would be the grammatical observation. I noticed the phrase are able to use was used in the past context as a guideline. Use were able to use were able to use when referring to something that has already happened, and use are able to use when referring to something someone can currently do or is presently capable of. So this small distinction enhances clarity and accuracy on our speeches. So it wraps up my grammarian report. Thank you, everyone, and always be mindful of how we use language, from strong word choices to intentional phrasing. And let's remember our demeanor, our behavior, and presence, not on words, but also on how we deliver them. Back to you, TM Jallo.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jeff. And I will be reserving my comments after the timer has spoken. May call on our fame, fillers, and motion evaluator, Toastmaster Chris. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jello. Good evening, everyone. During the whole session, I am tasked to monitor and note filler words and monitor unnecessary actions or habits that our speakers were able to do during the entire meeting. For table topics, although I am the first speaker, I was not able to note mine, but I know that I was able to deliver some filler words such as us, and forgot to pause in betweens. For TM Lead, she repeated two wells during her speech in the table topics, and for TM Jeff, he repeated the saw filler words as well. For our prepared speaker, I would like to commend TM Mark for doing a good job of not using any filler words or making any unnecessary movements or actions during your speech. However, during the question and answer portion at that time, I noticed when Jeff was delivering his response to your question, I noticed that he's sitting a bit leaned back like this. And I'd like to suggest to Jeff that if it's possible, if you could just straighten up a bit so we can see your face and your body just like this, and not like, you're somehow behind the camera. And for TM Christine, also, I noticed that during the session with TM Mark, you delivered two filler words, the like and the ah. And aside from that, TM Jello, when you were introduced and delivering your introduction, I noticed that you were also swaying just like this. I don't know why, but it's kind of distracting if you're, especially that we are in a virtual session. The rest of the speakers tonight did a good job in delivering their speeches, evaluations, because they avoided some filler words and some unnecessary actions or movements. Before I end my evaluation, I'd like to give you some reminders that you can easily remember when delivering a speech. It is POP, POP. Pause, observe, and practice. Pause whenever you don't know what to say next so that you can organize your thoughts and deliver your speech without using any filler words. Observe. If the meeting is recorded, watch it again, or you can also record yourself so you can observe the way you speak and cut off those unnecessary movements and unnecessary words. And of course, practice, practice, practice. So once again, pop, pause, observe, and practice. Now I pass the floor to our timer, TM Rose Pagia.
Again, good evening. And it is but proper proper demeanor and etiquette, for us to be on time, and to use our time allocation properly, and to gracefully exit within time. There. Those who are gracious enough, yes, I have my props here. And those who are gracious and courteous enough to follow their time allocation are as follows. In our table topics segment, we have all our table topics speakers. They all spoke within time. Toastmaster Chris, 2 minutes, 23 seconds. Toastmaster Lit, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Toastmaster Jeff, 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Our table topic segment was 17 minutes long. And for our prepared speaker, he was also on time for 12 minutes and 20 seconds. Our break, I'm sorry, but I would have to mark our break section as impolite, uncivilized, and savage. I'm sorry. we took strong words, I understand. Yes, but we took 9 minutes for our break time. Our general evaluation started 8:04 p.m. Oh, I forgot to mention. Apologies. Our meeting started at 7 a.m. on the dot. Perfect. Now, during the table topics evaluation segment, Toastmaster Unique was slightly bit over time. The time allocation is for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. She spoke for 5 minutes 32 seconds, so just at the cusp. Toastmaster Christine, for her evaluation, you were on time, 2 minutes and 51 seconds. For Toastmaster Dan, since there was a break, the total time was for 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Therefore, he was over time. Now, for our technical evaluators, Toastmaster Jeff, for the language evaluation, you are on time for 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Toastmaster Chris, I forgot to log your time, but you were on time just at the yellow bit. And for me, I'm still on the green. I've been speaking for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, that is my timers report for you tonight. I will just leave you with this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Let's see here. Manners require time, and nothing is more vulgar than haste. So let us spend time with others, and let's make that time with others valuable. And with that, I return the control back to our general evaluator. Good evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roast, and thank you and congratulations to our tag team for a job well done. Let's begin with our grammarian or language evaluator, Toastmaster Jeff. You have been critical in terms of our word usage, also the structure of our sentences, and even gave us a mini lecture using we're able to use were, and then the context of how to use where, were, and the past. And I congratulate you for pinning that up in today's meeting. I also congratulate you for saying the gems or the wonderful quotable quotes from the speakers, and then also the what I like the most would be the conclusion. You concluded your Marian's report very well, and kudos to that. And I hope you could pass that strategy to your members of the group in terms of delivering the language report. Now, something to grow on would be at the beginning of the meeting, perhaps you could challenge our participants to a quota to use the word of the day, demeanor. So you can post a challenge to the audience by saying, we have a quota of saying our word of the day. Please say our word of the day demeanor 10 times to the duration of our meeting, and then report to it if we meet that. If we did not meet that, then it's your job. It's the language evaluator's job to complete what he or she had set as a goal for the utterance of the word of the day. Good job, Toastmaster Jeff, for a wonderful job, a wonderful report of your language evaluation. Let's give him a round of applause. Now on to our fame, the fillers and motion evaluator for tonight, Toastmaster Chris. So of course the demeanor was super cordial, so I would say, and then energetic. The energy is unmatched. I wish I could have your vitamins. No. All right, and then of course, what I like the most would be the pop, right? So you also pop in terms of delivering your fame role. Congratulations to that. If there's one thing you mentioned about repeated words, you may want to also add favorite word that a speaker might have used. Yeah, you're in there in terms of saying that repeated words would be so. Then you can also add favorite words. Okay. Overall, Toastmaster Chris, you put the letter P on pop because you definitely pop and shine during your fame report. Let's give her a round of applause. And our timer. I actually put the timer last because this is how we should do, or I mean, I'm using the word should, but it's not appropriate. Why? Because Toastmaster Rose had a thematic way of presenting her role, and the tag team also must emulate that in terms of presenting their report, presenting it thematically. Thematically means related to the theme. So Toastmaster Rose related to the theme by saying gracious enough to be on time, and then if the speaker is out of time, she said impolite, savage. So those were harsh words, but it's appropriate at that point, and also giving humor at some sort. Yes, so I love that. So in summary, please ask Toastmaster Rose on how she did the timer roll, and then spread it or like sprinkle it to our tag team next time. All right. Let's give a hand to Toastmaster Rose, and also for the tag team for a very wonderful job on their task. We're done with our tag team. We're now evaluating our club as a whole. So we started on time, and even before we started, we actually have checked all the checklists, and then started on time. Very commendable, starting on time. And then the program went on smoothly because we started on time, and we are actually ending on time by 9 minutes mark. And then I actually like the opening billboard video, right? And then in relation to the opening billboard video, we could also squeeze in, since we started with our opening with a video, then we could also have a video of the Toastmasters promise, perhaps. Yes. And then if we are also can get a video of a prayer administered by one of our members, yeah, so that everything will be on video, so that we could present smoothly, video after a video, and then after a video, and then the Toastmaster of the day has been introduced. And then I also like that members take many hats. And for example, Toastmaster Mar took how many roles? Toastmaster Mar, how many roles did you have today? Two, right? But originally you were assigned one only, right? Right. So I like that everyone is willing to fill in if in need of a role, right? And yes, the program is really complete. We have the table topics, we have one prepared speaker, and then the tag team. And then we also utilize the break, although according to Toastmaster rules, it's savage to, it's long, but for me, it's just about right. Thank you so much for that break, much needed break. And then that's something to go on for the blog. Oh yes, the engagement for the members with the members and then also the guest. So I'm look into how we could engage the members and also the guest online, specifically if we are online. So how can then spice up the time given to us by our guests and by our members online. So perhaps we could have a question that can be answered all throughout and also related to the theme. So that would increase the engagement. And then we could also check on the chat box. So since it is an online platform that we're using, then we could also check the chat box, what's on it, and then read it out loud, and perhaps you could parrot it to the audience for those who are audible learners. Yeah, audible learners. And that's it for our club. And moving on to our Toastmaster of the evening. Toastmaster Amel, my good friend. The introduction, yes. We have introduced our theme, and then even have Japan, India, Brazil, China, and then Philippines. But my only qualms there is what is it in the general social etiquette that we would like to highlight, and that I found on the second part, wherein you showed us pictures and then elicit audience's engagement. That's where, okay, this is the theme really that they are going for. And so while showing the pictures, this is an opportunity for us to elicit audience's engagement. The first photo, I thought we missed the opportunity to engage with the audience by looking into the chat box and what's going on it, and then read it out. And then if there's none, then we need extra push for them to answer what they need to answer, what they need to provide to you as the host of the meeting. But overall, I really like the engaging humor path. You actually had a call to action, Toastmaster Armel, to take the engaging humor path. You yourself have taken it and you have benefited from it, so you took it and then use it to your call to action. Toastmaster Armel, thank you so much for graciously hosting our social etiquette class. Now, let's give a hand to Toastmaster Armel. And I'm pleased to actually be your general evaluator for tonight. And hope this would be not the last time. And every social etiquette requires a demeanor that is appropriate and also gracious. And that's what I felt today. I am humbly, uh, I am humbly accepted the invitation for Toastmaster Mark, and I had a great time spending the night with you. Back to you, Toastmaster Armel.
Thank you so much. Round of applause, please, again to Toastmaster Jello as our general evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, your demeanor shows a lot about your manner, your attitude, or etiquette. Please do not forget to say please and thank you. Listen actively and attentively because you listen to understand and not to respond. Respect personal space and boundaries. Be punctual and reliable and use polite language and tone. This is your Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And this time, I would like to return the control to our Vice President Education, Distinguished Toastmaster Mark Edrada.
To our prepared speakers, please mark your speech projects as completed right after this meeting. To our prepared speech evaluators, you may now complete and send the digital evaluation forms to your assigned speakers. As your Vice President for Education, I encourage every member to prepare 2 speech projects in advance, so each of us may be ready to deliver a speech in case we lack prepared speakers due to any circumstances. Congratulations, Toastmaster Oscar, for completing the Level 2 of Effective Coaching Path. Let us now greet our fellow Toastmaster Rose. A belated happy birthday this July.
Happy birthday, Ma'am Rose.
Happy birthday blowout.
Our next educational meeting will be on August 12, 2025 at 7 p.m. The theme will be Punto or Accent, a Buwan ng Wika special, as we will discover the different accents in the country and the origins of these accents. This will be a Taglish educational meeting. This will be hosted by Toastmaster Elise as our Toastmaster for that evening. Our WMS is held every first and third Saturday of the month at 2 p.m. via Zoom. Starting August 16, 2025, during our WMS, we will have focus group discussions about selected articles from the Toastmasters magazine, so we can learn more from different people across the planet. On August 16, we will have a focus group discussion on wise words on leading others from the July 2025 issue of Toastmasters magazine, page 28. This will be followed by prepared speeches from our fellow members. The weekend mentoring session is open to Meycauayan Toastmasters Club members. To our viewers on our social media platform, we invite you to join us to our regular educational meetings every second and fourth Tuesdays of the month at 7 to 9:30 p.m. This is done online via Zoom. Admission is free, and follow us on our official social media accounts. For more personal and professional lessons about communication and leadership, download the previous issues of The Toast, the official e-newsletter of Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. Download it for free by scanning the QR code at your screen. Everybody needs to learn the social demeanor. The general social etiquette serves different purposes, and learning about it is important across generations. There are many social etiquette that we need to learn, depending on the cultural setting of a host country. And I encourage you to research further on that. Also, let us all teach the younger generations about the value of good manners, because applying these good manners will reach them farther in life. Fellow Toastmasters, see you next meeting. I am your Vice President for Education, Mark Edrada, and this is the family that keeps up and looks further with wit, wisdom, and well-being. This is Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. Back to you, President Mar.
Yes, thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Mark. I have an announcement to make in the light of what Toastmaster Ryan said. The new schedule of the joint induction between Meycauayan Toastmasters Club and then the uh, Dr. Yang Memorial College's Toastmasters Club will be on the 9th of August. Yes, everybody is, of course, invited. And then, thank you very much. Thank you. It has been a very wonderful evening. It may be raining outside, but in our virtual environment, it is raining nuggets of wisdom, team-centered insights, and practicable solutions or suggestions. This has been made possible by our guests, by our committed Toastmasters, by our distinguished Toastmaster, by our general evaluator, the very affable and capable Toastmaster Jello, our Toastmaster from other clubs, Toastmaster John Francisco, and Toastmaster Monique. And of course, our guests, Toastmaster Jan Prestosa and Toastmaster Jennifer. Yes, thank you. It has been a wonderful evening. In terms of the manor is somehow conducive. So it has been a perfect evening for observing the manor. Thank you very much. And as president of the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club, I am bringing this meeting to a close. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you are safe and dry as well. And let's wish that this flooding will stop so that everybody can have a nice meeting. And these are some of the announcements. I would like to inform all the officers to please prepare and mark your calendar this September 20 for our COT1. It will be held in Pampanga. We are still finalizing the venue, but most probably it will be held on the same venue where we held it's either where we held the contest or the meeting or the venue where distinguished Toastmaster Beng delivered a training. So those are the two places that are being discussed within the division, and kindly support the training the online training that is prepared by the division. Here are the schedules again, so officers can mark their calendar early on. For August 2, our very own distinguished Toastmaster Mark, together with Program Quality Director MJ Gambula, will share best practices on how you can maximize your roles as Vice President for Education and the techniques and strategies that they are using so that they will be able to deliver and to do their roles effectively. For August 2 as well, that training will be around 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. At 4 p.m. to 7:30, Distinguished Toastmaster Mark Castillo and Director Ian Cortez will also deliver training for the Vice President for Public Relations. They will be sharing some techniques and strategies using artificial intelligence, AI, and how you can create publication materials, PubMats, for your respective pages. And for August 16,
Right.
I'm sorry, come again.
Where is the venue for the August 2?
For the August 2, it's all these are all online.
Online?
Yes po, online po ito. The only training that will be held on site will be on September 20 po. COT1.
So that August 2 is a COT1 also, right?
No, actually, these are just sharing session po for best practices.
Because
Intensive.
there is an August 2 because I think all officers need to attend the on different dates whenever they are available. So August
Yeah,
is not part of the COT1. It's
yeah,
not.
this yes po. Specifically for each roles po of officer. So that successful clubs po can share the best practices that they are using, techniques that they are using to other emerging officers po from other clubs.
Okay, copy on that. Copy. Thank you,
Yes
Ra.
po. For example, just like what we have in Meycauayan Toastmaster, perhaps Toastmaster Mark will share the benefits of having their very own magazine like the Toast we have in Meycauayan. In Meycauayan, the distinguished Toastmaster Mark Castillo also plot all the publication pub mats for the whole month. So he will be teaching emerging PR leaders on how they can do that and how they can use AI to create publication materials for their respective clubs po.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So for August 16, it will be Division Director Noliman Lapas, and we are expecting the presidents to join, and he will be discussing some techniques and strategies that is being used by presidents in different clubs. And for August 23, Area Director Wayman Ansala will be sharing how they manage corporate clubs, the techniques and strategies that we can use for us to be able to recruit corporate clubs. So I hope everyone can join the online trainings and of course, especially the COT1 that will be held in Pampanga on September 20. So that's all for now, and I am looking forward for your support, and let's join forces to build more clubs within Bulacan area, and let's hope for the best this term.
We can talk in Taglish or in English or in Filipino. Let's have a 5 minutes kwentuhan. Yan. So, kamusta naman ngayon? Sa place ko, medyo umuulan. Tita Christine, kamusta po kayo?
Sa Saluisoy namin talagang baha. Pumasok yung tubig sa office, hindi naman sa factory, pero sa office at saka doon sa ground pumasok. Kahit na anong pump, kahit ng ano, kasi inabot na sa floodgate hanggang parang third level eh. So, wala na. Parang I was telling my kids, sabi ko, ano na lang tayo, wag na inita ng ulo, wag na ma-disappoint, talagang gano'n, you just have to live with it. Kasi parang useless to worry about it, just live with it. Ganon.
Opo, totoo yan, tita.
Diba?
Yung sa lugar din po
Malaki na
ng...
tayo eh.
Opo, sa lugar din po ng parents ko, tinaasan yung daan, and yet, yung drainage pala ang may problema. So, nag-overflow din, pinasok din sila ng tubig. So, useless din yung pagtataas ng
Oo,
daan.
kasi nagtaas na rin ako ng 1 meter before eh.
Opo.
Pero wala eh, it worsens. So, hanggang saan ka magtataas? Iaan mo na lang, parang aalisin mo na lang yung first floor if you want. But then, yung isang friend ko sa Luisoy, nagtaas siya 6 feet. Yung level ng office niya, 6 feet. Lumagpas pa rin.
Okay.
So, up to where will you, where will you raise your ground? Diba?
Yes. Totoo. How about you, Toastmaster Monique? Kamusta naman sa place mo?
Hello po. Sorry, I'm eating my dinner.
It's okay.
Tapos nga, um, I currently reside in BGC near my office din. Di naman umuulan, pero I'm originally from Marikina. But my area, it's mataas siya. So, okay naman, hindi kami nababaha. Pero yung papunta, yung palabas po ng area namin, dun po yung baha. Based naman sa nakita ko online, hindi siya kasing lala ng before. I think the response of the LGU was better given na we've learned na yata from our previous experiences. Pero ayun, when I called my family naman po, they are safe. They are marked safe. They're okay naman po. Thank you po for asking.
Yes, thank you. Ingat ka kasi basta Marikina, no? Para nakakakaba rin yung ano. But then, buti naman mataas yung lugar mo.
But I think sa Marikina naman, they have implemented or built infrastructure to answer that, to mitigate the flooding. So it's a good thing, di ba? I mean, talagang yung location is really susceptible to flooding. But then, at least they build infrastructure to mitigate yung flooding.
Pero it was very alarming this time. Kasi ang bilis ng taas ng tubig.
Yeah, oo. Kasi barado yung mga ano natin eh. Mga daan natin and other things. So,
bilis. Parang 15 meters after 30 minutes, parang biglang 15.5 na. Ang bilis po ng taas ng Marikina, water level sa Marikina River.
Kahit saan ata eh. Kahit saan.
Kahit saan nga po. Ito naman si Toastmaster John Francisco. Ayan. Kamusta naman sa lugar mo?
Hindi ako nababahala na. Sanay na ako sa baha sa Obando eh.
Ay, oo nga. Sa Obando pala.
Yes. Kanina po kami. Last month, nag-lecture ako dyan sa Marikina. Emergency Preparedness doon sa Lead Logistics. Ayan, isang maghapon. Pinakita ko yung mga pictures ng mga baha. Mostly Marikina. Sabi ng isang participant, bakit to puro Marikina? Sabi ko, gusto mo, puro Bulacan na ipakita ko. Tinuro ko sila na how to be prepared sa mga earthquakes, sa mga typhoon, storm, gano'n. Tapos, pasensya na kayo, hindi maiwasan, hindi kami magpawala ng dam. Kasi pag hindi kami nagpakawala ng tubig sa dam, masisira naman ang mga dams. Mas malaking di ba? Mas malaking perwisya pag nasira ang dams. Di ba? Kaya ako sanay na. Hindi na ako nababahala. You have to live with it. Kaya lang, masakit niya, may mga flood control project, hindi na pupunta doon yung pondo para sa flood control project, di ba? Naawa ko sa mga kababayan natin na taga-Ubando kagabi sa monumento na na stranded. Kaya ako, bumili na ako ng motorsiklong mataas para pag-uwi ko mga ganyan di ba? Kaya nakauwi ako ng matiwasay. Kaya naawa ko sa mga na-stranded sa monumento. Yung mga iba pa pasahero.
I think they closed NLEX
NLEX, NLEX. Ang dami din na-stranded sa NLEX. Diba? Yun ang masakit yung mga kababayan natin nahirapang umuwi kagabi. Diba? So yun, kaya nga sabi nga ni Ma'am Christine, you have to live with it. Kaya tayong pa-stress. Diba?
Si Ren Ibay nga, went home I think at 5 a.m. na kanina. She slept in the car.
Wala na namang klase, pati government. Kasi walang tigil ang tulan Diba? Kaya we have to live with it na. Okay. Sige po. Thank you.
Sige. Stay safe ka dyan as well as with our other members kasi medyo inuubo na ang ating timer.
Together we succeed. In our hearts we believe. Rise and lead. Hand in hand we chart our course. Unity is our greatest force. Our family's a powerful